to International Quarantine Community. I'm so happy to be able to interview you, finally interview you.
Yeah.
And it has been such a rewarding journey from my part to be able to meet different teenagers and just share your experience. And you're part of the project, so you already know what the purpose is, but just
Mhm.
for to share, right? The purpose of the project is to connect with teenagers from all over the world and find out what was their experience during quarantine. What has been your experience during quarantine from the moment that New York decided to shut schools down till now? Like, what has been your experience?
Okay, so my name's Emelin. I'm 16 and I'm from Moreno, New York. Um, so because of this quarantine, um, actually my life has been pretty much the opposite of what it used to be because I was talking with my mom and because she was saying how her life was like really different because I would go to school, come home, do homework, and then almost every day I would have practice at night because I go to church and I'm very involved at my church. So like almost every day of the week I would have to go there from 7 to 9. And but now church closed, there's no school. I have so much time, but I don't actually know like what to do with all of it. So it's been kind of hard to like um figure out things I like to do, like different hobbies and stuff, because sometimes my mom asks like, do you want me to buy you like a kit to learn how to like sew something or make like a scarf, and I'm like, I don't know, like I don't know if that'll keep me entertained and stuff.
Have you learned anything new? Have you picked up something where you can say, "Oh, I learned something new"?
um Not really. I mean, actually got into painting a lot. um my I bought back in like January, I bought this like big painting thing, and I still haven't finished it. It's still like sitting right there, but I still can't finish it. It's just so time consuming. I just get bored of things kind of easily. But something I do now is like, because I'm a very like athletic person, so I go on runs and like work out at home because I don't know. I feel like that actually helps me.
Good, good. I was doing another interview and my girl was a runner. She's like, the only thing that keeps me sane is going out for a run a little bit. I'm a runner
Yeah.
too, so I know how it feels to kind of let all those emotions out on the track. You're like,
Yeah.
do you think you have learned anything in the process, or do you think your mentality has changed at all from the moment we started quarantine till now?
In the beginning of quarantine, I didn't really like know what was going on. I didn't really care honestly because it wasn't like really affecting me like
Mm-hmm.
a lot in the beginning. But then actually one of my aunts or a couple of my aunts like got the virus and one of them ended up passing away. So that's when it actually hit me and I was like, oh wow, like this is like real and like I need to like take this seriously. And so I
I'm
don't know, I feel
so
like
sorry to hear that.
oh, yeah, I know. It actually didn't affect me as much. I wasn't really close to her, but my mom and her sister were like really sad. And so like when you're like with someone who's sad and like you get sad too, yeah, it kind of like
Wow. And how was it, if I can ask? How was it how was it with like they didn't do funeral or anything, right?
no, they she actually was in the hospital like for 2 weeks, and after those 2 weeks she ended up passing away. And my cousin, like I'm really close with her and she lived with her. It was like her second mom, and I like called her and I was like if she was okay and stuff, and she said that she still didn't feel it because she hadn't seen her for 2 weeks. So she was like, I still feel like she's going to come back. I just feel like she's at the hospital. But she has really good faith. So she she was like strong to like, you know, deal with it.
So the hospital took care of everything, or like what happened with like burial and stuff? Do you know?
She got cremated,
Mhm.
or yeah, yeah, that's
That's pretty much the standard. I think that's probably one of the toughest parts of it is that people who lost someone
yeah,
weren't able to do a proper
funeral. Yeah,
funeral or even a proper burial if they didn't want them cremated.
yeah.
And that must be tough. I personally lost a coworker. Same, I wasn't super close to him. Because right, I worked day shift, he worked night, so we were like see each other like this, right?
Mm-hmm.
And but I know that my coworkers from the night shift were so devastated. And he was super young, like 29 years old. Um, 2 kids, and it was like that's for me, that's when it got real too, because I was just like, oh my god, this is another flu, or this is
Yeah.
another like
Mm-hmm.
yes, we get to protect ourselves, wash your hands, etc etc, but when this 28-year-old super healthy man dies from it, I was just like, no, this is serious. If you can pinpoint something good that has come out of it, what would it be? Either for yourself or for your family or for the world?
Um, well, for myself specifically, I've always dealt with like low self confidence and like self esteem. So now that I have the time to like make myself feel better by like working out or going on a run, like I feel like that's a really good thing that has come out of it because I've always wanted to, but I've I always have like something going on, so I never have time. But now that I do, I feel just like so much happier with like myself, and it has also like changed my mindset because I spend so much time um like meditating, I guess you could say, because like working out for me is kind of like that because I just forget
Okay.
about everything and just like think of myself and think of like the positive side of what I'm doing to my body like at the time, and like just think of like a final result and like when I when I could feel actually like really good about myself. So that's something that has really helped during this quarantine.
I love it. I think that is brilliant. That's the time when you can evaluate who you are, learn about who you are. If you don't like something about yourself, you can take the action to change it.
And
How do you think that this has gotten you closer to your family, or how how has the experience been with your family?
I'm very family oriented, so I've always been really, really close to my family.
Mhm.
Um, but with like before this quarantine, my stepdad, I never like really talked to him. I don't know, just like how things went down. Like I've never really been super comfortable with him. Not that he's like a bad person, but just because it took me time to get used to having to share my mom in a way. But I never really saw him because of his job. Like I would wake up early, go to school. By the time I left, he got up, and then I would come home, eat, and then go to practice. And by the time I left for practice, he would come home, and then he would sleep like really early. So I never really saw him. But now that he's always home and I'm always home, I've gotten the chance to like, I don't know, like see him more and interact with him more and like just become closer because like in a way I felt like I was hurting my mom by like putting him to the side because I know she loves him and so like I have to like respect that. So yeah.
I love it. Perfect. As I'm doing these interviews, I think a lot about a group of teenagers who right now are probably in homes that are not healthy for them, or that are unstable. and they don't have school anymore to run to, or maybe they don't have, which probably was their escape, or they're not able to go to the park and meet friends and just get out of the situation they're living in, what would be your message?
I know that many people are going through their own, struggles, um, and they're all like different, but it's hard on everyone because it does change. Like this whole situation does impact your life, even when you think it doesn't. Um, but I think we just have to stay strong and just think. I think if we just follow what everyone tells us to do and like actually take care of ourselves and people around us, that if we do that, this might be over soon, and we just have to find things that can change our mindsets to be more positive, like find a new like hobby, or
Mm.
find, like you said, some kids like saw school and their friends as an escape, but if you could find like a different escape either in your home or outside in a safe environment where you're all alone, like that could also help you, whether that's like being in your room with your headphones in and just like staring at the ceiling and thinking, or like going outside and like meditating, or just, I don't know, doing something that could distract you from all the negativity that's in your home or wherever you are. Then it'll be one easier to get through all of this. And if we actually follow what the government says, this might all be over soon, and then your escape might be there, and then you'll have two escapes at the end of the day. So
That's
it,
good. I like that message. I think it works to have to find a little escape, even if it's in your home, like something that gets your mind somewhere else. I like that. And for the millions, right? Because I'm declaring millions of teenagers that are going to be watching this, or millions of people that are going to be watching this interview. What is your message for the rest of humanity?
that we all just have to stay positive and follow the rules, and just be happy that this is all happening, because I believe that everything happens for a reason, whether we like it or not. It's always going to be something that will help our lives. It will, during this quarantine, many are using this time to find themselves, find things that they like to do, spend more time with their family. So don't look at the negative side, always look at the positive, and we'll get through this together.
I love that. Yes, we are going to get through this together. And what do you think we can learn as humanity, right? We're going through this together. We're all going through this in our different ways, but all countries are going through it together. What can we learn? What do you think we can learn as humanity as a whole?
Um, we can learn that although we are very different people and live on very and we all like are from different parts of the world, how all these people are from like Europe and Asia and stuff. um I think it's important to know that just because we're from different parts of the world doesn't mean we have totally different lives. This could actually bring us together as a whole world, and we could actually use this unity to like maybe solve different problems around the world. Like
Yes, yes. Actually, that is brilliant. We could use this unity.
something, yeah, because like the whole world is going through the same thing. We all have like around the same feelings and like, so I think that is what brings us closer, and this unity could help us in the future with other problems.